And now, here's your host of Shaping Success, Wes Tankersley.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to Shaping Success. My name is Wes Tankersley, and I am your host. Today, we have an awesome episode for you with another musician. His name is Pistol Black. We've had Jake Rose and a couple other musicians on. It's really exciting to talk to these people because if you know me, you know I love music. So Pistol Black is someone that I met on TikTok through a friend of mine, Ashley Kaywood. And I listened to some of his music, and man, it's just really cool stuff. So we're going to dive into him and talk about why he does what he does, how he got there, and those types of things. So here we go. Pistol, thanks for hanging out, man.
What's up?
What's
I like
happening?
your intro. That was dope.
Yeah, thanks. That's my friend Jay Finning does the voice for that. And then I had another friend who made that for me. It's kind of, my logo is kind of like a mix of Superman and my signature because I'm a big Superman fan. And it kind of looks like home plate too. So, because I'm a baseball coach. So it's kind of like a mix. If people know who I am, they know what it is.
I got you. Cool.
Yeah.
I played baseball in high school.
Oh, did you?
I think that's one of the more intelligent sports, just got to have a good IQ about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What I love about it is how much it teaches you because like it teaches you to fail, right? That's the big thing about it is you have to learn to fail. And if you can fail and then get back in that box again the next time.
Yes, sir.
It's a lesson.
Mm-hmm.
I also like the fact that you said it's intelligent because I had a family member at one time told me there's no strategy and I just wanted to punch him in the face. I'm like,
what?
Are you kidding me? You know nothing about baseball, buddy.
I was gonna say, did you ever play the game?
Nah, I don't think so. So you got a pretty cool song out right now that I really enjoyed. But tell us a little bit how you got into music, who you are, where you're from, that type of thing.
Well, my real name's Chase Waters. I'm from Morton, Mississippi. How I got into music, I kind of think it was just, I don't know, it was just my calling, more or less. I feel like I know my parents raised me. You know, when we were coming up, we could put a tape in the VCR and record what was ever on TV. And
Right.
my parents, we didn't have like cable or satellite or none of that. We can only pick up one channel from the regular antenna we had where I lived, maybe two actually. Now I think about it. Anyway, so I got to watch a lot of Seinfeld growing up. But they would take these tapes to their buddies' houses and they would record MTV for hours, you know.
Yeah.
And then they'd come home and put it on, and that's what I'd just wake up in the morning, I'd put my little MTV tape in, and I'd sit there and watch music videos all day, just enthralled. And I remember one of the first ones was like Peter Gabriel, Sledgehammer.
Uh-huh.
That was my favorite music video, and just the song and everything. It was just it was a lot of information at one time, and it was just, I guess for my little ADD mind, it was everything I needed, and from there I developed, good rhythm and all that. It was just inevitable that I'd eventually get it. I was always fascinated by it anyway, and I guess I got a little older. I had a buddy, he had a guitar, I swear. It was slightly bigger than a ukulele,
Uh-huh.
but it was an actual acoustic guitar. It's just built small, and he let me borrow it and showed me how to play. I think it was like "Come as You Are" by Nirvana.
Uh-huh.
That was it. That was it. It's over with. Shortly after that, I wound up getting a drum set, and uh, I told my dad. He asked me what I want for Christmas. I was like, a drum set. He's like, try again. I was like, PlayStation 2. He was like, okay. I got the PlayStation 2. I sold it. Went and put money down on a drum set. And then as I was paying this drum set off, I was still progressing on guitar, and I done started jamming with a couple of buddies from school. And one of my buddies, Andy McBride, went on and was like, I told him about this drum set that I had, that I was paying off, and he was like, "What? You got a drum set? It's like, what do you owe on it?" And I was like, "I don't know, X amount of money or whatever." He was like, "Come on, we're going to get that thing." And we went and got my drum set out, and I started a band.
That's freaking
And
awesome.
from there, I went through many different, things. I've played drums for people, guitar, bass, or whatever. But the two main things that wound up coming from that is I got a rock band, still an active rock band called Candy Bone now, and we're about to drop our first single and music video from our first full length record. And then part of dealing with Candy Bone, I've been doing Candy Bone since like 2011. Officially, that's like when we came up with the name and everything, and formed as a band, and just dealing with other people. And around here, like a lot of people are in, like if this guy can play guitar, he's in like five bands
Yeah.
or three even, whatever. And it's just hard to book around everybody and everything. So I still needed something that I didn't have to count on anybody else to do, you know.
Right.
So Pistol Black was my outlet there. It was and it was just a full like solo thing where I could do whatever I wanted, write how I wanted, whatever. No outside interference, interruption, none of that. I just doing my thing, That's how it came about.
So it's an independent thing, right? Because I think that's a lot of people don't notice anymore that there are a lot of artists that are going independent because these big record deals are not really conducive to their situation. Like they want so much from them. So go ahead.
Oh no, I agree. I agree. So I know there used to be. It kind of trips me out now. You used to could be a somewhat decent band and get a developmental deal from a record label around 100K or more, even depending on what they thought you were capable of, growing into or whatever. And I don't know if that's another thing that kind of messed the whole market up, is just giving all these people opportunal chances like that on a whim that they may grow into something that could be a commercial success, or if it's I don't know, man. It's just the current state of the industry now, whatever. But yeah, the big deals ain't coming, and the ones that are, usually aren't tailored to. There's just not a lot of big rock stars like there used to be. You know what I
Right.
mean? There are, but there aren't. You know what I mean? Like it used to. I don't know.
You look at like the big ones though. Like I mean, you look like when people don't look when you look at independent people, they usually have like they're producing their own stuff. They're doing all the singing. They're doing everything. Like Mick Blankenship, one of the guys that I talked to on TikTok, talks about how like he plays every single instrument, records every single thing, and is just promoting himself completely.
Yeah.
How do you do that? What's your process with that? Is it kind of the same thing for you, or do you have people come in and play the instruments for you? Or
It
do
just
you?
depends. Like I got one song now. I'm doing all the instruments on. I'll play drums, bass, guitar, sing it, all that, background vocals even. But then I got other stuff that I'll write and I'll know, like, oh, my buddy Levi or my buddy Brian or my buddy Robbie can do that. I even got so Robbie is the guy I got on rhythm guitar right now. Robbie Phillipson. Uh, he's on TikTok. You'll see him in some videos with me on my Pistol Black page. But he had brought a lick to me not too long ago, just one he had, and he was like, "He'll write a song of this since you so badass, blah blah blah." He just talking shit. That's how we are down here. We be
Right.
talking shit and everything, but it wasn't 10 minutes later. I done wrote a song to lyrics and melody, and he was just like, "I hate you, motherfucker."
Because it comes easy to some people, right?
It
That's
it does. So the brain is a muscle just like any other, and the more you use it, the more It's just like muscle memory. So now, man, it's like lyrics. It's almost like plugging into the matrix. Like lyrics just pop in there, and whole verses, or even sometimes whole songs. Like some of my best songs didn't take me 5 minutes to write, and then I still got songs now I've been writing for 20 years, if
yeah.
that makes sense. I've just been, I have to put it down, come back to it, scratch it out a little more, fill in a little more, come back to it. And we're going on 20 years and it's unfinished. So
Well, it's
it's
just like
weird.
you said, the brain's a muscle, and I think that the more you do things, I'm a reader, and like Malcolm Gladwell talks about 10,000 hours, which it's give or take, and that's to become proficient at something, right? So if you spend all this time doing that, you just get better at it.
Is that the Yeah, that's why I was thinking. Yeah, when you said that 10,000 hour thing, basically, explain that a little more. Because my understanding is, if you spend 10,000 hours doing something, you'll practically master it. Is that the?
Yeah, that's pretty much what it states.
Is?
He starts out by talking about like hockey players in Canada and how if you're born in a certain month, you're going to be a professional hockey player. It's because they get to that 10,000 hour, and I think it's like January. But the
Yeah,
kid starts out playing hockey a lot sooner in January because if he's born in January, then he's got all that time to get back around to the next year. And they hit 10,000 hours before the person who was born, 6 months later. And so they
yeah,
continue to do that. And like the Beatles were one of those bands too that they hit that 10,000 hour mark by playing these 24-hour strip clubs music so that they could just get, not so that they could get it in, but so they just were willing to do whatever they could to take. And there's
right.
yeah, Bill Gates, same way, Steve Jobs, the same way. That's how they all got really good at what they were doing by just doing it for more than anyone else did.
I dig that, man.
Yeah.
That's like me, man. I do it as often as I can. I live and breathe it a lot of days, But it's not. The thing is now too for independent artists like myself, it's not just music anymore. You got to learn graphic design, marketing, management, all this stuff. Like you got to become a one man label, pretty
Right.
much.
Yeah, well,
And
that's the thing that they do for you. Like if you have, right, it's part of if you have a deal, they do that for you.
yeah,
But it doesn't come free, right? And
no, it
that's the
doesn't. You got to pay for that service, and that's what a lot of people don't realize, man. It's like signing into. It's like buying a house. If you ain't got the money up front, you're financing it practically. You know what I'm saying? So that's all you're doing with a deal is financing your success, so to speak,
right.
which is great because that label's gonna get you further than you'll ever go by yourself. Regardless of, I don't care if you're Macklemore,
Yeah.
Macklemore's tight, Macklemore got huge on his own, independent artist. Imagine his reach if he had a major label behind him, kind of thing. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So
Yeah, the tough thing about that too, though, is doesn't a lot of times when you get that label, like now you've started to lose creative control because they don't want you to be singing, the music that you believe in and that you love and that you write. They want to get you like a pop hit or something, they want to get you so that you get more listens, downloads now. It used to be selling CDs and albums and stuff, but now it's more about getting them to listen to it, right?
I think so, and I think it's more so probably in the 90 percentile. There's still people there's still labels even that are gonna trust the artist, trust the process, kind of let them go. Now, if it gets to a point where it's just not clicking or vibing, they'll either let you go or they'll redirect you.
Yeah.
And then it's in the artist's hands. I hadn't got that far yet, so
You'll get there.
but I do. I hope I'm as successful independently. Like I want to ride the independent train
Yeah.
as long as possible, and if that's forever, even I don't think I'll mind that as long as I'm doing what I want to be doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
well, you look at you think about it just like you were saying, like you get big enough, they're going to let you do it. I mean, no one's going to tell Dave Grohl of the Foo Fighters how to write his music or what he's going to do. Like he's making the album and this is it, here we go, you know.
right.
But you get someone
But,
like, and even Macklemore could do that now even if he's still independent, right? He could probably go get a deal and then
oh, he could get a deal and probably not even wind up in debt as much as other artists.
yeah.
He can probably. Ain't no telling, man. I mean, I don't know the whole. I don't know his whole situation, but I'm sure he's sitting fine. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I'm sure a deal might be more beneficial to him now than it would have been, say 15 or 20 years ago.
Right. Well, and the
So,
thing about being independent too is that the money goes into your pocket, right? Like if you're starting, you're an entrepreneur. In reality of the whole situation, you have to create your
exactly.
own business and you have to make your money and you have to be responsible for everything you put out. Whereas like if you had a deal, you may make like, pennies on the dollar, right? For every dollar they make, you're making very little. And hopefully it's a huge, giant thing because you
And
need
that's
that to make your
to
money.
go to pay back your debt to them,
Yep.
you know. So, and you might not. I mean, I don't know. I'll tell you, 30 Seconds to Mars put out a really good docu-film on it called Artifact. Have you ever seen that?
I haven't, but I will now.
Check it out. 30 Seconds to Mars Artifact, and it was basically a film detailing their struggle with the label and they were with a good label from what I can remember. I can't remember right now who it was, but it was a big label, you know. And you look at 30 Seconds to Mars, they're a big band, huge, great guys.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things. Like I have a friend, he's the lead singer of New Medicine, and New Medicine broke up, a few years back, or not broke up, but went on.
Love New Medicine.
Yeah, they're
Love
awesome.
them.
And I've had Jake on the show, who is the
That's awesome.
lead singer, but he, like, they kept telling him, you've got to write this music, you've got to write this song, this is how you got to put it down. And it ultimately led to them saying, no, we're done because we can't. I want to put out music that I believe in. And he writes. He's a writer. So he writes all those songs with people or by himself. And, he started a country career that way. And now he has his own. Yeah. I don't know if you haven't heard Jake Rowe's music, that's Jake. That is the lead singer of New Medicine. So you need to check it out. It's pretty damn good.
I will. I've been jamming right now. Take Me Away.
Yep.
That new single they got, dude, I love it so much. That song is so real.
And that's the thing he wrote that is about, like, he's talked about how that's about him, like about what he's going through and the struggles that he's gone through, because mental health's a big thing, man.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. You got to be on top of your mental game, you know, and this is one of those fields that can test you mentally. You know, it can pull a lot out of you. A lot of flies fall. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of people they give up. They give in. They can't. You know, it's just like throw in the towel.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've been doing this. I won't ever quit. You know, no matter how much adversity I face, because it's therapy,
Yeah.
and I'm sure he'll tell you that.
Yep.
It's more than just music to me. It's life. It's oxygen.
Yeah, and I think that's the big thing is like and that's what I love about people who write their own music, because a lot of the times it's about what's going on in their life and they are telling that story as they go through it.
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about, one of the things I want to talk a little bit about is like, as an artist, how do you deal with people, oh, that song sucks, or you should quit, you should do this, you should do that. Do you get a lot of hate? Or is it mostly, good vibes that people swing your way?
I can honestly say that I've never got a lot of hate for anything I've done musically. And I'm blessed in that regard, I guess. You know, I usually get a lot of positive feedback. Uh, I've gotten hate for, like, if we did videos, say we went online and did like a cover song or something.
Uh-huh.
Like I know I did Sublime one time, and I said "loving" is what I got,
Uh-huh.
and I think that's the lyrics.
Sounds like
I could be wrong.
Yeah.
It's "loving" is what I got, but I had somebody come on there. I had like two people come on there talking about it's "love is what I got," and I was like, oh, okay, well, my bad, and I'll go back and listen to the lyrics, and and then I look them up online, and I'm like, maybe, I don't know, but I've gotten hate in that regard, and then, and I'm a funny guy too, so sometimes if somebody's talking shit, I'll engage them with more shit talking, but not to be a dick just because it's fun to me. Like, I feel like, well, hey, you've already set the bar, so let's run with it,
Yeah. Yeah, and that's one of those things. It's like you have to kind of feel your audience out and kind of know, but
right. But I've went toe to toe with people like that, and sometimes turned them. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And like they've been like, "I like you, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You're cool." And then I got a fan from that.
Right.
It doesn't always happen, but it's happened several times. So But like I said, I don't. It's not like one of those things where I get a lot of hate for my actual songs. It'll just be more so like when you're trying to cover somebody else's stuff. Then people are like, "Don't bite, don't be biting."
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not familiar with this term, how you're using it. But I guess that's like, don't bite other people's stuff. Don't be, that ain't you. Don't try to pull it off because you can't, kind of thing. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. Some of my favorite songs are covers. I mean, there's people who go and they turn a
Exactly.
cover into their own music. I mean, Johnny Cash was great.
Metallica, turn the page.
Yep. I mean, like Johnny with Hurt, 9 Inch Nails Hurt.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes. Yes. I honestly, and I call myself a Nine Inch Nails fan. I don't know. I just dig what I've always heard from them, and that was one song, regardless of growing up in the '90s, that I'd never heard until Johnny did it. So I fell in love with Johnny's version, and then I heard it was a cover, and went and heard the other one. And I love it too, but I was just like, but Johnny.
Yeah, I
Johnny
heard
was
it.
living with like Rick Rubin and I think maybe Lenny Kravitz or whatever at the time.
Uh-huh.
Like they were all living in Rick Rubin's house, just making music and shit.
Doesn't surprise me.
I
Rick
could be
Rubin's
wrong
a
on Lenny.
master.
I think it was Lenny Kravitz though. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, and there's some you should check out sometime. I don't know if you're a Weezer fan, but Weezer did this whole like cover album. Have you heard him do Scrubs by TLC?
I hadn't heard that. I heard
It's
him do the
way
Aha
better.
song. Yeah,
It's
no
way
doubt. I
better.
had to check. I love Weezer too.
So do
man.
I.
That's always good feel good music, like put a smile on your face kind of thing. And God, need that,
Yep.
like
Well,
morning coffee.
Yep. Well, let's talk about the song you got out now.
Yes, sir.
And that is, I'm trying to, I get it mixed up. It's Still Home, or there's two parts of it, right?
I did one of those. What do you call? Dang it! Is it parentheses or whatever?
Yep. Uh-huh.
But I remember songs like that when I was a kid and seeing them on the charts. I used to get Rolling Stone magazine when I was a kid, and I'd see the charts and some of the song names how they were. But it's called "You're Still," and in my hometown, because I was initially going to call it "My Hometown."
Uh-huh.
And then I realized there's several My Hometown songs. So I need to do something to set it apart from those. And that's what I did. I went with You're Still My Hometown. And basically saying, here I may go on the road and I may go stay other places, where I live. I act as well. And a lot of filming is going down on the Gulf Coast.
Mm-hmm.
So I live about 3 hours north. So I'll go down and stay at the coast for a month, 2 months at a time sometimes, just depending on what I got going on. So, regardless of where I go and how long I'm there, you're still my hometown kind of thing. But the song in itself, it wasn't just a song, it was a whole strategy to get footing in my home state and home base, and I told myself, I said, if I can't get my hometown behind this song, I probably better pack it up and move to Nashville and try something else, But I feel like this will be a good jump start for Pistol Black. And it turned out being much better than I imagined it would be. I figured it would hit with a certain crowd. It hit from, say, kindergarten to nursing home, bro. I mean, everybody loved it. Young kids, old people, everybody. I just got so many people hitting me up all the time talking about, we jam your song all day. Snapchats from kids riding around jamming the song. Like when we were shooting the music video, right? Truck full of kids. I mean, it had to have been 12 in the back, and the cab was full of like another 5. They come by while we're filming the music video, jamming the song, So we done made them turn around, like, come back, come be in the video,
That's got to make you feel good. It's so relatable though too, because there's so many like lines in there. Like the one thing that I always remember is the Chevy truck. Like it's just like that was me.
Which is the one thing in there that is a lie. Okay.
I picked out the only lie.
You picked out the only lie, dude.
Damn it.
So I'd never had a Silverado, but my buddy did, and that's what we rode around in. You know
Uh-huh.
what I mean? Like I didn't get a car till I was like 23. My mom gave me this old hand-me-down Corsica she got from her aunt, and I rode the wheels off of it, buddy. Believe that.
It's still a Chevy, I
But
guess.
it was, but I didn't get it senior year. It was many years later.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that was one of those things that kind of fell in the rhyme scheme and everything. So
Yeah.
I was like, but I had a buddy. We were doing a show, and I was talking about how sometimes you'll embellish on a lyric or something to kind of just to find a rhyme or whatever. And my buddy Brock Bailey, who's with a blues band down here called the Bailey Brothers, he like popped his head in the room. He was like, "Yeah, like that Silverado."
Yeah.
Because I used to ride around with him all the time. I played drums for them. They'd have to come pick me up in their little Toyota Tercel.
Yep.
I'm having to put my whole drum set in this little Tercel, and then us three ride back to Brandon or Pearl, 30 minutes from where I live. It was fun times, man.
That sounds a little packed.
Very packed. Very packed. We made it work though, man.
Yeah. So what do you do? So is music and you said you acted a little bit. Is that like the things that you do full time, or do you have like a job? Because I know a lot of people have to do stuff in between. Do you have jobs in between or?
Yes, I'm a music producer as well, songwriter. So around here, I'm producing several artists or writing songs for people. Like sometimes somebody will just hit me up and be like, "Look, such and such has this much of a song, or I got this much of a song. Can can you finish it out for me and make it better? Whatever." I give them my rate. If they jive with that, we get to work. I'm working on one now for somebody who I've been working on for about a year now. I need to wrap up and get to them, but like I said, it's just one of those things, I'm in the studio producing a rock band, and they're on TikTok called Red Light Vendetta, and it's just one guy really, but it's me taking his songs and putting my touch on them, or some songs I just outright write for him. Like he'll come up with a little piece of a guitar, and he's like, "Let's do something with this." Like I said, lyrics they kind of fall out, boom, and we done got songs there that I'm like, man, I don't even want to give that song away. I
Right,
love
you
that
wanna use
song
it.
now. It's my little baby, and I got to give it away. But it is what it is. But yeah, Red Light Vendetta is the name of that, and that's my main source of income is producing, working in the studio, stuff like that. Yeah. So,
Well, it's great because you're around it all the time, right? So you can get
all
that
the time.
inspiration. You can just hop in there and do what you need to do.
Yes, that's it. And I enjoy that. So what I do, I don't own my own studio. I got a buddy that lives in a town next to us. It's called Brewdog Studios. His name is Vince Johnson, and he lets me come in there. He gets the engineering. He still gets his time paid for, and I get my money up front from him. I tell him, here's the engineering fee. That's who we work with, and it's always. We've been doing that for years now, and I'm blessed for it. Because if he wouldn't let me do that, I wouldn't have nowhere to go. So
Yeah. Well, you'd find. I feel like you seem
I'd
like the
I'd be
type of
working
guy.
at Dollar General or something.
I don't know. I think you'd find a way. I think you'd
You're
find a
probably
way.
right.
Yeah.
You're probably right.
Well, man, it's been awesome having you on. Where's the future? What's next? Is Pistol Black going to take
So,
off and have a full album, or what are we doing?
oh, I would love to. I just feel like right now, the way I noticed Hardy. Hardy's done dropped like 5, 6 singles, but they're really all leading up to this album. So I
Mhm.
may do that. I may just drop a bunch of singles that are all gonna ultimately be a piece of this album that comes full circle. With the next 6 songs or something. I'm not sure. But right now, the goal is to drop this music video that we've been filming, and we're almost done. I got to get some drone shots of town and everything, and then get it edited down. And then from there, I've got several songs in the chamber ready to drop. Just kind of waiting. I'm gonna get this video out and let it do its thing, and then drop the next one.
That seems to be the way that it's going. I've noticed, like with independent artists, mostly, like they can, because you can do it, because you can get the play on one single, because really that's the one that everyone, will play over and over again. So you get it out there, and then you just, drop another one.
That's it. That's it. And it's cheaper to, 'cause, I mean, it takes some money to go in there and put out a full album, like right on, bam.
Yeah.
So it's cheaper to go edit a song by song basis. I find, so for independent artists at my level in the game, it definitely works better, just single here, single there. And then, like I said, after you dropped about 6 singles, go on and drop the rest of them and call it a record,
Yeah.
And then the people that have had the singles, they've already got half the record, so it'll compel them to go ahead and buy the rest of it, because you can get it cheaper. You already got half of it, kind of thing. So that's how I hope it works. So.
It'll work. I know it will. I mean, it's this song is a great one. I love it. I mean,
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I put that thing in my truck, and I'm listening to it because I drive around all day, and I think I've probably played it 7 times before I switch. So it's
cool.
It's a good one, man.
And where do you listen to music?
Well, I typically, because I have an iPhone, so typically on Apple Music. That's kind of I know Spotify is a little bit bigger for artists, but
I don't know. I mean, I guess it is. They say the pay is better on. I think the pay is better with Spotify than it is Apple Music. I could be wrong though. It may be the other way around.
It's hard though, because you can't get, like, this podcast is on Apple Podcast, and that's the best place for podcasts. But you can't share it with someone who's got an Android. They have to go somewhere else and listen to it. So, like Spotify, you can listen to it on an iPhone.
So where do they go if they're on Android?
Well, you can listen. It's everywhere. So I have it on Spotify too. So, like, it's listed on Spotify. It's listed on Apple Podcast. It's listed on.
Okay, I got you.
iHeartRadio. They basically disperse it everywhere, but it doesn't. Like, you have to kind of find a place where people want to do it. So I've been doing a lot of YouTube now. YouTube's kind of the way that you can just say, hey, anyone can go watch it on YouTube.
Yeah.
So
cool, awesome.
Yep.
I like it. Well, I appreciate you letting me be a part of it, man. This is cool. I see this picking up for you as well, you know what I'm saying? So hopefully we can come back around and do this again.
Yeah, I'd love to. Hey, I got
full circle.
When we end, I got a question for you. So hang tight,
cool.
okay? But I got one more question for you for the podcast.
Gotcha.
If you had to give some advice to someone who was doing what you were doing, say, think about where you were like 10 years ago or when you started, what would be one thing of advice you'd give them?
Don't stop. Never quit. Never give up. Failure is your friend. Failure lets you know what not to do again and what to do better next time and all that. And if you keep listening to the failure and taking that L and turning it into a learning experience instead of just a loss, then you're going to turn out fine. Everybody's rate of success is different. Some people are overnight and some people take 20 years, whatever. Just don't stop. 10,000 hour rule.
Yeah. I love it. I think that is a key to a lot of things, is figuring out that failure is not a red light. It's a green light.
No, it's a green light, man. Definitely a big one.
Yep. Well, hey, man, I really appreciate you hanging out with me. Thanks again for taking time out of your day to do it.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
All righty. Well, everyone, that is the end of the show. Really good conversation with Pistol Black. Check out his music. It's everywhere. There's a great song out right now. It talks about the Silverado. So go check it out. Until next time, I challenge you to find the shape of your success.